For this piece, let's talk about a component that should be done your first year in your AET. After that, it's never done again. And this is a double check to make sure it has been done. So if this is already complete, there's no need to do it twice. We are going to go to the beginning values here that we see in the review and edit. And if it hasn't been done, regardless what year you're in, let's get it done. This is making a record, a beginning inventory, if you will, of your first day in ag. And so based on when you enrolled in your first day in intro to ag, they'll tell you right then when this is. Now, depending on how long ago that was, you might be making some estimates on some pieces, and that's totally okay. There's just some big chunks we want to make sure are true. And so we are going to go through all the steps that apply to us. And that's really key. And so when we go to current projects here, we are going to talk about current items that we own first day of ag. So if you didn't own any current items, remember current things last for less than 1 year, then we wouldn't worry about it. But if you had feed on hand that you came into the ag program with, let's say for a steer or for animals, and you knew it was going to be fed out within the year, but you still need to claim it, we would do it here. So you put in who you purchase it from, what purchase experience is going to be part of. Let's say it was for a market steer. The expensive type would be feed, and how much we had at that time. If we didn't have any of this, we don't put anything. Only mark what applies to you. So if it's you put its value, and if you want to make a note of how much that was, like 10 bags of feed or 20 bales of hay, put that down. You do that, save that one when you've done it, and you can add a new line. When you're done with that, whether you had anything or not, you go to non-current. What non-current items did you own that had value the first day of ag? So if you had breeding animals that you already owned when you walked in, we need to claim those here. If you had equipment for already showing livestock, or for a welder, or for gardening equipment at home that you already had before you got here, you need to claim that here. If it's yours, if it's your parents, don't worry about it. We're only worried about what's yours and part of your SAE. We also don't need to put in your clothes or your truck or car or anything like that. Your video game system, it's not part of it. So we will put in the name of the asset, what category does it go into. Usually choose non-depreciable, is just easier. So just as a heads up there. Depreciable means they're going to lose value over time, which we can put in there. It's fine. Just a matter of what's applicable for this, but they will lose value over time. Now it affects your SAE. So non-depreciable might be easier. And then how long would that item last? How much was it worth when you started, and what's its salvage value? So what's its life going to be worth in 5 years? And you can, again, put the same amount of value in if it's going to have the same value. If it's going to lose value over time, put in that what we call the salvage value. Save when done. If you're doing livestock, don't just put sheep, 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 sheep. Identify each one either by name or by ear tag number, some way so you know. And again, this is only done one time when you first started ag, and then it's done. We don't go back and change it because that shouldn't change. You buy new animals, there's a place for that. If you had any liabilities or loans that you owed money out to people at that point when you started in ag, then that should go here. Most of us don't have this, but if you did, go ahead and put this on there. If you have an active operation, you might have that. And then the last one, this is for everybody here. The last item right here says beginning cash on hand. So how much cash was in your pocket, in your bank account, whatever. Now, nobody's going to go check this, but the point is so you can see your growth. So you can see what you started with and where you ended up through your supervised agricultural experience. So make your best estimate, update this, and when you're done, hit save. And then you've completed your beginning values. And again, this is a one-time only in your life thing. We don't need to worry about that button. Again, you can always go back and double check that you did it right though.